you put other people's needs before your own, it's almost people pleasing, almost. But you're noticing, I'm getting the message that it's something you're only recently aware of. So maybe you're going through some kind of transformation, hence the shapeshifter, and you're looking inside yourself, and it's something that you only recently noticed, and you're making that change to, you're noticing how your body responds. So the body keeps the score. That's something I'm immediately getting. And because your body will give you signs, oh, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with this. And people pleasing or being giving too much causes your body, maybe your body's a bit more weary. I'm getting it, you feeling a bit worn with the worn shoes. So you're feeling a bit worn down, but you didn't really understand why. But then recently you realized it's because you've been putting other people's needs before your own. You could be a Leo. Leos tend to do that. So they, and also because of her hair is quite orange, so I'm getting lion. I'm getting lion, I'm getting lioness. So you could be Leo, or take it how it resonates, but you don't have to be. But that's what I'm getting, because you're giving, but you're not considering yourself. So by giving to other people, it's also, I'm getting, it's also projection. So you're treating other people how you want to be treated, but sometimes that's not reciprocated. And but you can't always just give to other people. I'm getting that message. Yes, give to other people, but there needs to be a balance, because you can't, I'm getting the message that you need to be in a position, you also have to be in the position to give to other people by giving to yourself first. That's the strong message that I'm getting. I'm not sure if I'm wording it correctly, because if you want to give to other people, you need to be in a position to be able to give. I'm getting at times where you're not in a position to give, you're still giving. So let's say even though you're mentally drained, just an example, that's what I'm getting right now. You're not emotionally in the right state of mind, but someone, let's say, comes to you for advice, but you're not in the emotional state to give that, and yet you choose to give it. That's what I'm getting strongly with this card. That's the message that I'm getting. And hence, because let's say I'm getting the example that the phone battery is at 20%. Let's say if your battery is at 20%, you can't give 50%. You can only give 5% and keep some for yourself to carry out your daily activities. But for example, if your battery is at 20%, you'll be giving 30%. That's what I'm strongly getting here. And you're not putting your needs first. If you don't put your needs first, and where you're in the right state of mind, for example, I'm getting emotional state of mind, because that could resonate, but it could, in terms of giving, could be in other aspects. It could be monetary, it could be something else entirely, it could be material things, but I'm getting strongly emotional. You're giving a lot emotionally to other people, because that's what you hope to receive as well. But I'm getting a message, don't force yourself to give when you know you have to put your own emotional, mental needs first. That's what I'm getting. And I'm getting this with the silent curse. It's not a bad card. However, I think you're shedding that past. You're shedding that self where you're constantly giving to other people, because you realize, oh, this is what's causing me to be lethargic, tired, low energy, because you've been giving a lot and you're not reserving some of that energy for yourself. You're shedding that self, that part of you, and you're learning how to balance that. So you're not essentially people pleasing, but you realize energy is finite. Your energy is finite. It's like a pie chart. That's what I'm strongly getting here. And you're shedding that self. So you're not constantly just giving. You're regulating that energy. You're thinking, does this require my attention right now? Am I able to give energy to this person right now? And you're learning how to delegate energy. So I'm getting the strong message that, for example, I'm getting the example of, for example, you're picking clothes. You don't think that much anymore in terms of picking clothes because you realize I'm conserving my energy for something more important. That's what I'm strongly getting. That's just an example. It could resonate, it might not. And I'm also getting food. So maybe you used to be really fixated, super fixated on food. You put a lot of energy into meal plans, for example, but then you realize food is just fuel. And when you're picking out foods, you pick out the organic foods, you pick out foods that are good for you, but you're not putting so much emphasis on it because you're putting emphasis on something that's more important. And that's why that is the bridge. So you're crossing from someone who doesn't really understand how to delegate energy, doesn't realize I'm tired because I'm not conserving. No, conserving is not the right word. I'm not delegating my energy well. I just gave my energy out as if it's just like water, but energy is finite. Your energy is finite, and you realize that. So you're crossing that bridge. Do you see this bridge? Bridge is transition. Bridge is crossing to the other side. You've crossed to the other side. And I think the wise guide, it was the end card that came out. You're being guided, and I think guidance could come in various forms. For example, it could be angel numbers. So maybe you're seeing a lot of 111s, which means you're on the right path, which is the bridge. But I'm getting that you're being guided, and that's why you're being guided to notice the way your body responds. So you're probably thinking, well, there's nothing physically wrong, but then you feel mentally drained. I'm getting mentally drained, I'm getting emotionally drained, but then nothing bad is happening. It's not like the people around you are bad. I'm not getting that. There's no message about it I'm not getting messages where there's someone you need to be aware of. It's not about that. It's more that you're delegating energy strategically. So it's you're prioritizing certain tasks. Which ones deserve more of my energy, which one doesn't. And it's really, really, it's a really positive card because not everyone understands that energy is finite, but you've made that transition by being guided to notice how your body responds. And this normally is associated with a spiritual guide, but I'm getting that you're being guided to notice and being more aware of how your body responds. I'm strongly getting that message here. So that is a really positive reading. Okay, so we're gonna end with a message from the Book of Answers. What message would you like to give to the collective while watching this reading today? In terms of today's reading. It says deal with it with discretion. Now, I think that's a really... Hold on, this is the... Deal with it with discretion. I think that's really good because I'm getting the immediate message with this, deal with it with discretion, is even though you're aware of this, even though if you're not aware, you will be aware with this reading to delegate energy wisely. Don't make it so obvious. That's why I think this is so good, because you don't want to reveal that to others because maybe they're used to... The people around you might be used to you just giving out your energy very freely. So it's a deal with it with discretion, as in be discreet about realizing your energy is finite. Be discreet with conserving your energy. Learning to say no, but you have to do it subtly. Do it with elegance. Do it with finesse. That you are not going to be that person who just gives out energy like water. I'm getting the strong message that treat energy like it's money. If energy is like your money, would you give it out willingly? You won't, right? So that's why this message, deal with it with discretion. You're still going to be there for your friends and your family and whoever that is around you, because as you've always done, but you're more conservative about it. You're more what's that word? You're more cautious about it. Cautious is not entirely the right word here, but I don't have the word right now, but you're more cautious, you're more careful, and you're more particular. I think that's the word. You're more particular about just realizing you're more particular about delegating your energy, because you realize energy is like wealth. I'm getting a strong message. Treat energy like it's wealth. Don't just be so accessible. But with this awareness, deal with it with discretion. Don't just tell people, don't just blab and say, oh, my energy's fine, I can't be with you emotionally, I can't deal with this right now. You're gonna deal with it with more finesse. You'll say, hold on, I want to be in a better headspace before I'm currently not in an emotional state to advise you on XYZ. You're going to deal with it with more finesse. You're not going to be so direct, because you realize I can't always be accessible, available, because it really depends. So you're more particular, and that comes with you've crossed that bridge into realization, and you're going to notice your mental state, your body will just feel lighter. There's less of there might be a heaviness that you might be feeling. I'm getting that as well. Once you stop practicing this, I'm getting a strong message, once you stop practicing this, because of this awareness, you're shape-shifting with this card. You're realizing how energy is finite. You need some for yourself before you can give it to other people. My battery's at 20%. I can't give 30%. I can give 5%. You're gonna feel so much lighter. I'm getting that. I'm feeling the lightness already just from doing that. That is the reading.